Looking for the best deals in town? Visit Signature Auto Sales at 2736 First Avenue in Spearfish. From campers to trucks, SUVs, and more, we've got the full selection. Call us today at 605-559-3030. Hey guys, welcome back to First Amendment Media Sports. Colton Hall here with head coach Tom Tieszen. Coach Tieszen, thank you so much for coming along.
Yeah, glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
So we had the 8th grade signing day this last Monday, and it really felt it was different, kind of covering something like that. And I kind of just wanted to kind of talk about that event, but also just kind of talk about the framework for what will be the next football season and just that kind of stuff. So
yeah, the 8th grade signing is something that Coach Wademan, now activities director, brought in when he was hired here, and he was really looking to make sure the kind of kids that we were getting were the ones that belong in the program and that they knew what it took to take this team to where it's at right now. Mm-hmm. And so I don't think we'd be where we were at right now without that commitment day. And so I continued that on when I took over for Wademan. And last year was my first year doing it. And I kind of looked at things that we did well and things that are our strengths in our program and wanted to build on that and really show the 8th graders, not just tell them what we're about, but be able to show them a little bit more of what we're about. So the weight room is a huge thing for us. Hunter Walters was a great natural athlete, but he's not Hunter Walters without the weight room. Mm-hmm. And that goes for a lot of our guys. Lathan Lucas, Asher Peel, those guys have put in the time in the weight room, and it's really paying off. Mm-hmm. We've got some sophomores this year that are going to be juniors for us that they have not missed more than 1 or 2 liftings this offseason, and they're going to be absolute playmakers for us next year. Mm-hmm. Skylar Bryant, Easton Walters, Hunter's little brother, and Zaya Torpy, those 3 guys, especially between their sophomore and junior year, are going to be guys that you don't hardly recognize because they've become just tanks. And we've got a lot of young guys working hard too that now that basketball's done, they're back in. So the future looks bright. Those guys know that the weight room's important for us. It's tough. 4 days a week in the off season, we're in the weight room at 6 a.m. Mm-hmm. And those guys are pretty dedicated to it and getting there. We're only missing a couple guys that we need to get in there, and even they know they need to get in there. They just are struggling waking up. They literally sleep through their alarm, they tell me. But that's all getting us to where we need to go. And so we toured the weight room, showed those guys, we have one of the best AA weight rooms, if not the best in the state. And so we showed them if you're not willing to be in here during season, during off season, if you're not in a sport, you probably don't need to sign that paper. Mm-hmm. And then we went to my room where we did a little mock scouting report. I printed off our week 4 against Aberdeen, what we went through with the installs, what that looks like. And then we were able to watch the highlight video from last year. So they kind of get a sense of what we're capable of.
Yep.
And then I really wanted to incorporate, we're a player-led team. If you've watched any of the podcasts with guys coming in, they talk about being player-led all the time. I really do see my role as I'm more of a facilitator. Hey, what's our problems? How are we going to handle those? Here's some options, and let those guys really handle it. They're responsible they're the ones that get people to lifting. They're the ones that get people to practice on time. If you heard Dylan Doran at our meeting and Hunter Walters, they did a lot of player-led stuff last year, which led to our success. And so because we're so player-led, I wanted them to hear about our program from players. So I chose our 2 All-State seniors that are leaving, and I'm going to continue to choose the All-State players that we have because there's not going to be a year now where we don't have All-State players because we are one of the best teams in the state now. Yep. And we have some of the best players in the state. And so seniors that are All-State players are going to be welcome back to give some advice to the younger classmen and what it takes to get to where we are. Because Dylan Doran and Hunter Walters remember, when we didn't win a game, when we went 4-6, when we were battling every game but not coming out with what we wanted because we weren't quite where we needed to be. So getting a reminder of that and what they had to go through to get to where we're at And then I brought back some of the leadership council that's going to be returning next year to talk about our 4 values. We harp on our 4 values all the time. RRST, respect, R factor, resiliency, selflessness, and trust. So they gave examples of that and what it means on this team. And so I think the 24 8th graders we had, and there's a couple that missed because of other reasons, I think they got a good sense of what our team is about, and they all chose to sign. And so I'm excited to put that letter on the back of their cool plaque we give out as seniors.
That's awesome. It's really cool to see what Wademan and you really have built over the last, 4 or 5 seasons and beyond, actually. But to me, this is so unique just in terms of, because usually the stigma is freshmen coming in, they're the guys that clean out the shed or, bring the equipment out and kind of things. But it really is, it's really cool to see just that accountability that's kind of built with this. And like you said, what you're trying to build and just instill in them what it takes to be a Spartan.
Yeah, as far as, freshmen having to do the grunt work, we talk all the time about leaders do the grunt work. Leaders do the dirty work. So if you think you're a leader, you do the dirty work. We never say freshmen are doing this. We know that we're a team, 9 through 12. Our senior guys respect all of the freshmen and know that we can't have wins, we can't have success without having success at the freshman level and them feeling like they're contributing, because they are. It's crazy how much culture that instills in a team and how much support it brings. And those guys really are servant leaders. Asher Peel would probably do about anything for a freshman that he just met the other day because they're on the team, and that's what this team means. So I like, I don't hear anymore, well, we had to do that when we were freshmen. Well, that's not what this program's about anymore. We do things as a team. 9 through 12, it doesn't matter. Everybody's important. Everybody's valued. When one person scores, 9 through 12, we all score. So.
Like I said, it was just really cool to kind of see how that kind of carried into building a program here. We kind of discussed this a little bit beforehand, but seeing all the seniors, guys like Dorn, guys like Walters that stepped up there, it kind of brought a tear to my eye, kind of talking about how and remembering the impact that this senior group had. Now, again, this particular success that we